Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai ara mai ki te ao Hākinakina, your sports show here at your Tribal Pulse Te Kore Mako o Taranaki, 94.8 and 98.4. We have a really special guest with us today. He is well known within the rugby union circles here in Taranaki and also well known figure within our wider Taranaki community. He's very passionate about Māori Rugby Union space and helping lead the way for the up-and-coming Taranaki Māori Rugby Football Union 100th anniversary. We would like to send a warm welcome to the Taranaki Māori Rugby Football Union Chairman, Tokatumoana Walden. Kia ora, Toka.
Ai, tēnā koe, e te tukana. He me i kawake ana, kia kote te whānau, kia whakarongo mai ki ngā karere. He me hi kawake ana, huri rauna o te maunga nei.
Kia ora, kia ora. Ko ai koe no hea koe, a bit about yourself and where you're from, Toka.
Ai, e me tika, ko au te mokopuna o te maungana, ko Taranaki te maunga, ko Taranaki te iwi, ko Taranaki te tangata. E kore, e pau te ika una nui, haumea hui e tāki. Yeah, I was born and bred up on the coast, out on the farm and around Parihaka. So we have a long history out on the land, out on the whenua. But also our maunga and our connection back to the maunga is really, really strong. And right throughout Taranaki with our connections to Ngāti Maru, Te Atiawa, and Ngāti Mutunga as well. So yeah, deep part of the landscape here. Been around for a little while. Hopefully I've matured and share a lot of the stories from our people back with the maunga. But yeah, really looking forward to having this conversation kōrero with you around our te ao Hākinakina and what's happening here in Taranaki.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, I know you're a very passionate Māori rugby stalwart and a passionate coach as well. But in terms of tribal rugby here in Taranaki, what's your earliest memories? What's your earliest memories of tribal rugby?
Yeah, that goes back a few years now where I played a lot of tribal rugby. It was tough at that time when we were playing competition rugby on the Saturday and then tribal rugby on the Sunday. So, yeah, it was full on. Even if you were injured, you still managed to get out of bed and go along and support the whānau. It was a whānau day, a tribal day. It was about engaging with our whanaunga, and it was highly competitive. There was a lot of trophies at stake, a lot of money on the line, and yeah, we played for those taonga, and even today we still have those taonga, and they are well looked after by the kaitaki or the whānau and the iwi that put those trophies on the line, and they're still being battled for today. So yeah, it's a long history and a lot of memories around the tribal rugby with those teams like Ngaire, Te Manawapau, Pukeariki, alongside Te Atiawa, Ngā Ruahine, Ngaire. We also had Ngāti Ruanui, Ngā Rauru. So yeah, it was heavily contested. And yeah, it's been going for 100 years. So what an achievement in itself, a milestone, a long milestone, and a chance to really celebrate and reflect, I suppose, on the last 100 years. And it also gives us an opportunity after the reflection, where too with Taranaki Māori tribal rugby going forward into the future. And I'm sure a few of our pakeke and kaumātua are interested in having a conversation going forward.
That's really awesome. So how did you get involved? How did you get involved? Were you young? Was it mum and dad or uncle and aunties? How did you get involved? Yeah. What has been your involvement over the years?
Yeah, no, it was sort of with the cousins and being able to play, with our cousins and that. But also my dad was heavily involved in rugby. He played for Te Atiawa and played league, cricket, rugby, all the sports. So, it was deeply in my blood. And it was through, dad and mum and the whānau that sort of took me down this line. Māori rugby was a big part when I went down to the Manawatu as well. I played for Manawatu Māori as well, and also made the Central North Island under 23 Māori side that toured the East Coast, and yeah, that was a great trip. Met some awesome people, particularly the the All Black whānau Kurarangi. Robert Kurarangi was an All Black. We stayed with their parents and up on the marae, Hene Rupe there, up at Te Aroro. So yeah, it brings back a lot of memories and a lot of relationships that I've built over the years, and we still sort of engage with them today. So yeah, it's a way to connect with people, a way to share your passion, for a sport that you're brought up with and you love. So it's definitely had huge benefits in the past, but also retaining those relationships through to today.
It's amazing. And who have been some of the kind of the key people in your time, within tribal rugby here in Taranaki that have helped shape and mold what it is today?
Oh yeah, it's there's a big history there with a lot of our kaumātua today who were a big part of that. A lot of those people have passed on, and just acknowledge those ones who paved the way for tribal rugby to sort of continue on. The likes of John Luke and um, uh, Ngātai, Tom Ngātai, and um, we've got the likes of Carson Robinson from Ngāti Runa, who's passed on. All of those people had a big hand in nurturing and looking after the health, of tribal rugby here in Taranaki. Today we've still got the likes of John Hooker, Thomas Kātani, John Niwa, um, Barry Mataku, Terry Tamati, lots of people around the Maunga that have contributed significantly to tribal rugby. Taranaki tribal, we were brought up. Yeah, definitely some stalwarts there with Matthew Robinson and Joe Robinson, the Leatherby whānau, the Waiwiri whānau, the Horo whānau. So the list goes on, and those families are still there today and still trying to uphold the mana of Taranaki tribal rugby here in Taranaki.
As you were mentioning those names, you definitely brought back some memories for myself. I remember Carson Robinson and Marty Davis and Auntie Dawn Taylor back in the days of the committee in the early 2000s. So some beautiful names there who paved the way for it is today. But no, that's awesome. So in terms of this key taonga that you speak of, what are some of the key taonga that are still played for?
Or, there are some real prestige taonga that whānau hold, and sometimes it's just when do we get a chance to actually challenge for it, and different iwi and whānau were quite selective of who they played so they could retain the trophy. But we've got the Parihaka Shield that played a big part in Taranaki tribal, and the families that sort of represent Parihaka, but a big part of Taranaki tribal too. So that shield still sits with Te Pōtaka, or the Taranaki tribal out there, and it's carefully guarded too. So but we'll be reunited with all those trophies at the tournament. So looking forward to that. The Mana White is another prestige one from Te Atiawa. Auntie Emma, and you got Auntie Mana and Morris. Morahu, the whānau, who are the kaitiaki for that taonga. It can only be sort of played out at Te Atiawa. It's a home game, so there's sort of various rules for different trophies out there. So yeah, and the Te Atiawa is the holder of that one at the moment. But you've got the ones like the Rima Wakarua from Ngārauru, a real treasured taonga from Ngārauru. There's the Renton Shield. That's another one that's held pretty closely to Ngāruhine and the whānau from there. So it is important that these taonga are remembered, and that the people understand the history. The exhibition back in 2011, I suppose, was when the World Cup was here. There was an exhibition at Pukeariki, and a lot of those taonga were recorded, and whānau were recorded. what those taonga meant to the whānau. So we're going to be showing those, that footage again at the cabaret on Saturday the 28th, just to sort of remember and reflect on those times, and also hopefully to get a lot of those whānau along to be able to talk a little bit more about what those taonga mean to them as a whānau. So yeah, no, it's exciting. A lot of mana in those. But yeah, if you manage to wrestle one away, the whānau are always after getting it back. We've got one actually on the Sunday. I see when we've got the Taranaki Māori playing Manawatu Māori for the Tuera Shield, which started up the river with the Ngāti 2. That's interesting. There's a Ngāti 2 up the river as well as the same Ngāti 2 in Taranaki, and that shield was always played between Whanganui and Manawatu Taranaki, and at the moment Manawatu are the ones that are the holders. So we're definitely vying for that one on the 29th at Yarrow Stadium. So it should be a great hit out.
It's funny you talking about the tong. I remember my short stint on the committee back in the days when we were talking about having a tournament instead of having to go down to face Ngā Raudu, I think, and they said, no, you want the tonga, you have to come down here and do it.
Yeah. Oh, they got some rules and
all those different rules.
Yeah, they're sticklers for them too as well. You'd have to be on your game if you want it. So it wasn't always that easy to get a challenge, and and there's still that amu now. When can we get a challenge for that Pariaka Shield, or when we can we challenge the mana white? All this sort of stuff. So the banter still goes on, amongst the whānau.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. And big mihi out for the exhibition too. I remember that was outstanding.
Yeah, no, that was outstanding, and a lot of work went into that to pull that together. And we've got a great resource now to capture, the tribal rugby at that time, and with our tonga as well. So yeah, and exciting times.
That's awesome. So the 100th anniversary, what a milestone! What is obviously your current role as chairman of Taranaki Māori Rugby Football? And what
I don't think
in the background for this occasion?
Yeah, I don't think I've been officially appointed chair, so I always put myself as a member of the committee, but it's not so much about what role I hold. I have a passion, for the administration of tribal rugby here and Māori rugby, and also trying to get our players to become, better players, and also opportunities to go to higher honours. So that's always been the drive. But really enjoy the time that I've put into Taranaki tribal rugby, and also I'm sure that the whānau are looking towards the next 100 years, and we need to shape and look at what that could look like going forward.
What does the celebration weekend look like? What are the key events and who's participating?
It's all coming together, and I'm pretty excited about what's coming up, and hopefully we can stimulate that enthusiasm around the maunga to get our people along to come in, and it's the vehicles rugby, but it is about whanaungatanga. It is about coming together as a whānui, and playing a game that we all love and have a passion for, and just get out there and enjoy ourselves. So that's the role of this festival. It's to celebrate a huge milestone, but also to enjoy each other, and a bit of laugh and a bit of fun. So yeah, it's quite exciting. The 28th of September is Saturday. It's going to come around pretty quickly. Just on the Friday afternoon, Aotea Waka are going to be hosting the tournament on the Saturday, so they're going to bring their tonga on the Friday afternoon, and get their tonga, accustomed to the environment down there, and then starting at 8:30 on the Saturday morning is going to be the pōhiri, where all the other tonga will come on, as well as the manuhiri coming in for the day, and teams and stuff like that, to sort of be officially welcomed by the Aotea Waka. And we're looking for, great participation in that. And it's not only teams, it's for our kaumātua kui, Pakake, tamariki. Let's get along and really start that celebration off really, really well. The Saturday morning also around about 10 o'clock, 10:30, we hope to get all the games underway. We've got 8 teams at this stage in terms of the senior men's, looking at battling it out down there. So that's going to be interesting. And we've also got two Tani under 18 teams, one from the north and one from the south, battling it out. And also we're hoping to get an exhibition women's game, on the track too. So we're still working through that, but we've got a great lineup out there, and there is a trophy being put up for the men's, particularly for the 100 years, and Ngā Ruahine, John Hooker, and them have carved it and putting that up so that the winner, so to speak, will be all winners on that day, but the one that seems to get all the points will take that trophy home. So that's really exciting. And also, Te Aorangi Dillon's whānau are donating a shield for the Tani, the under 18 Tani game, the under 18. So yeah, really exciting to have those sort of trophies on the line on that day. So during the day, it's going to be pretty well a festival of activity. We've got food trucks, we've got stalls, we've got coffee carts, we've got tents, iwi bringing tents and showing their merchandise and wares and any information that they want to share with the wider whānau. Also, we have our sponsors coming in as well, TRFU. We also have BTW. They'll have a tent there just sort of sharing what they do. Also with Taylor Patrick Surveyors, another group that's sort of coming and supporting the occasion. All our iwi, all the 8 iwi are definitely in behind us and stuff like that. So it's going to be a massive occasion. It's going to be a festival type occasion. We want people just to go out there and enjoy their day. Bring your mokos along, bring your tamariki along. Let's get out there and have a bit of fun. So the games are looking to wind up around about 4 o'clock. We will have presentations of the trophies and the day's play. And then we wanted to sort of move into the evening. So to watch the space, there's lots going on, and there it's going to be a huge occasion. But in the evening, a cabaret, and we've thought that we want to bring the people together to celebrate this milestone. And that will be held at the hub there in Hawera, starting at 7 till 12 p.m. We have our own band as well. We've got our band from Whanganui, which are quite well related to the whānau from down here. So there should be a few tunes being belt out, and the whānau just to sit and enjoy the evening. But also that evening too, we've got an opportunity to acknowledge life members for the Taranaki Māori Rugby Football Union at this time, at this very important time. So iwi have been asked, or the tribal rugby teams, rugby clubs have been asked to put forward names of worthy people to be recipients of a life membership award, and then the committee will approve or not approve in terms of who we think would sort of earn the respect, I suppose, for that taonga too. It's not just something that we give out to everyone. So there is criteria, and we'll work that through. So that's really exciting. There's definitely a lot of people who have contributed and haven't been acknowledged to this day. So we felt there was an opportunity with 100 years that we acknowledge those people that we know that have contributed, and hopefully other people come forward if we so choose to move forward into the future with a continuation of Māori rugby. So that evening we've got a kaumātua space there. We're encouraging a lot of our Pakeke to come along and share their stories. We'll also have an opportunity to capture some of those stories as well, to share with the whānau post the tournament and the event of 100-year celebration. So it's going to be an evening of a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. I'm sure that the stories will become very large by the end of the night. Who had the biggest hit on and stuff like that. So, and particularly if John Hooker and them in there, they always think that they were better than all those other teams, you know. So yeah, so that's the sort of Saturday covered, but you know, it's definitely a huge opportunity to bring our people together and celebrate. The only thing that we have there, I think, Nahina, there is a charge on the cabaret for people. We don't want that to be the deterrent. It's the only charge for the weekend of $40 that can be sort of paid back to the iwi or with the iwi, and so that the iwi can get the tickets for them and that sort of thing. Or you know, if they want to ring me directly and stuff like that, and we can sort that out for them. But it's not to deter people from coming. No, we want, you know, regardless of the money, we want people to come and enjoy this awesome occasion.
Wow, it's amazing. Really, really looking forward to the weekend. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe te rangatira. Thank you for sharing your journey and your time. And for your effort and determination, dedication to the game of Māori rugby here in Taranaki. We appreciate the memories and the stories you've shared, of those that have now passed to and those that are still with us, who continue to hold on to that legacy that was set by so many special people in those earlier years. Looking forward to the 100th anniversary and can't wait to hear more stories throughout the weekend. So mihi ana ki a koe. Thanks once again, and you have a blessed weekend. Looking forward to catching up soon.
Kia ora. Okay. Kia ora, Nahina.
Kia ora.
Ka kite.